If you are new here, my name is Nisi and we are the Platinum Gang. I wanted to bring some fun and exciting things and topics to you guys that we discuss in our VIP group. Unfortunately, I have been trying to upload this presentation for days, child, and this is not working. So instead of you guys seeing this beautiful presentation that we had in our VIP group a couple months ago, I'm just going to be talking about it and explaining this topic to you. This is something that gets brought up in the manifestation community a lot, and it is everyone is you pushed out, and what exactly does that mean? So the topics that we're going to kind of cover during this video, and I will try to make this short and sweet and to the point, you guys. I cannot stand when videos are like 30-40 minutes long, because if my attention span ain't there, I know yours ain't either. But anyways, topics we're going to be covering is are as within, so without, the mirror effect, reflection, and behavior, and being the change, and what that means. Because when I would hear people say, be the change, I'm like, what does that mean, be the change? And there's a graph in here. I'm going to try my best to put that in the description and like let y'all see that, or maybe like figure out a way of how to like get the presentations on here. If anybody knows anything about that stuff, let me know. Anyways, the mirror principle. The mirror principle teaches us that our external world is a direct reflection of our inner thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. If we want to change our lives, we need to start with our inner selves. It's about consciously focusing on what we want to see in our lives and blocking out everything else. So my mom used to always tell me, if you want to know what's going on in a person's life, look at their home, right? Like how you keep your home and your space of where you sleep and dwell is a direct reflection of what's going on in here, right? So like if I am a chaotic person, my life is going to reflect chaos in some way, especially being, in my home. So manifestation is the same way. What you see out here, if it's chaotic or not, things are not manifesting the way that you want, is because of what's going on in here, right? And like the way that you're feeling. So always be mindful of what's going on in here, so then what's going on in the outside will reflect that. So if you are not seeing what it is that you want, it is because of what's going on inside. I used to get the mirror principle confused and conflicted, and a couple people in the VIP group said this to me as well. They're like, oh well, Nisi, I thought that it meant like literally a mirror. Like if I raise my left hand, my SP raises their left hand, or if I'm scared, then I'm making them scared. And it's like, no, that's not what the mirror principle is. Basically, if you use it as a gauge to see where you're at, just like if you're driving your car, and you have a fourth of tank of gas, and okay, I need to go get some gas soon, and you can kind of gauge where you're at. It's like if your SP isn't committing or whatever, or they're saying certain things to you, use that as a gauge to see where you're at internally. We're also going to do another video about learning when to be able to tell when someone is projecting onto you or when you're reflecting onto them, because that is also important to know, because sometimes this shit don't even have nothing to do with y'all. They're projecting their own doubts, fears, worries, and insecurities onto you. And Dylan talks about this as well. Okay, so as within, as without. And if you guys want to take notes, I think that's great. Our external reality is a reflection of our internal reality. We just said that. What we think and feel inside of ourselves is manifested in our external circumstances and experiences. I would hope that by now, in this part of your manifestation journey, but for those that are new to manifestation, that is just what it is. What you put out is what you're going to get back. If you sit around and you're like, oh, I'm fat and a slob and nobody wants me, the universe only knows yes. It's going to say, yeah, you're a fat slob and nobody wants you. Or if you say, I'm abundant, I have everything that I could ever want or need or wish for, the universe is going to go, yeah, you have everything that you could ever want or need or wish for. It only knows the word yes, you guys. That is it. So change your behavior and your habits. A lot of times we don't realize that like these small habits that we have could make such a huge difference when it comes to consciously creating, right? We think like, oh, that's just small, it doesn't matter, I can continue to do that. And absolutely no, you cannot. So change your behavior and your habits. Excuse me. Showing up. Your behavior is a reflection of you to other people in your life, in your reality. Role play. Every person you interact with is actually an aspect of yourself. More specifically, everyone you know is acting out a role you've assigned them based on your assumptions and beliefs. Mirroring other people are showing you what you are lacking and what your limiting beliefs are at all times. So if you think that something is out of reach for you, that is a limiting belief that you have, that you need to get to the core foundational belief of what it is and why you believe that to be true, right? So it's like, if like I said, again, if my SP isn't committing to me, or if I'm not getting the job, or if I'm not manifesting the money, I must have some sort of limiting belief somewhere, and I need to get to the bottom of that limiting belief. How are you showing up? Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches us that our thoughts shape our personality, and our personality is going to shape our reality. How are you being? How are you behaving? Basically, how are you showing up? If you are someone that's constantly checking social media, constantly looking at your SP's phone, constantly checking your messages to see if you've gotten your manifestation, then naturally you're showing up as someone who's anxious. So you're going to get more of something to be anxious about, because that's what you're protruding into the atmosphere, into the vortex, the universe, the quantum field, whatever you want to call it. Because what you give out is what you're going to get back. So relax and pay attention to that. Self-concept. So self-concept is something that you hear thrown about a lot in the manifestation community and law of assumption communities. But self-concept is way deeper than just self-esteem alone, you guys. We talk a lot about self-concept. Self-concept is so much deeper than just self-esteem alone. Your self-concept is how you believe others view you. Do you have limiting beliefs with how your manifestation goals view you? Assuming you already are where you would want to be and consciously perceiving everything that fits your desired image, the mirror will reflect more and more the image of what you want to see. So how do you think money feels about you? Let's say that you're trying to manifest more money, right? Well, how do you think money sees you? Are you constantly, down about money? Are you constantly like, oh my God, I don't have enough, or money's so hard to come by? Like, think of money as a person, right? Because your thoughts are never private, but think of money as a person. And if you are, let's see, how can I phrase this? If money's listening to you talk shit about them, money's like, I don't want to go over there with her. She's always talking about me. Why? She's always speaking negatively about me. Why would I want to go over there? Same thing. Like, just treat money or these things that you want or your desires as if they're people, right? And if your SP can hear you talking negatively about them, or they're like, ugh, they just always hit me up when they want this, or I'm only good enough for this, or they think this and this and this. It's like, okay, well, I don't want to be with you either if you're constantly thinking about me negatively. Think about me in a positive way. That's going to draw me in, right? So there's only 3 things that you need to do in order to manifest. You're going to decide what you want in great detail. People say, okay, well, I want a happy, healthy, committed relationship. I want marriage. Okay, do you want the idea of marriage, or do you want what marriage means to you, right? Because I have a certain belief about what marriage means to me. What does marriage mean to you? If you want the house, okay, what does that house represent? Does that represent some sort of freedom? Does that represent stability for you and your family and your children? Like, what does that represent? Get to the bottom of what it is that you desire in great detail. Act as if. For 3 days, act as if you already have received it. And I have had people in the VIP group and my coaching sessions where I have them do this 3-day challenge. And sometimes y'all freak the hell out on me. It's okay. I love all of you, because at the end, you still got your manifestation any damn way. So, haha. But for 3 days, don't speak ill about what it is that you desire. Make sure that you are thinking favorable thoughts, because Neville says to see them lovingly, see things lovingly, right? So whenever you do that, you're not in a state of lack, because you're constantly like, okay, let me just pretend like I got it, right? And I also talk about that in the Romanticize Your Life video. Go check that out if you haven't. But do that for 3 days. Literally, just have tunnel vision and stay focused on what it is that you're creating, and don't think anything negative. I don't give a damn if it is Armageddon outside and there is a zombie apocalypse and volcanoes erupting and everything just outside. stay focused on what it is that you want and only that end goal, right? And then be open to the ways of the universe, God giving you these things. I always say in my coaching sessions, if I have a gift for you and I tell you that I'm bringing you this extravagant gift and you over here like, well, I want the bow pink and I want it wrapped in this type of paper and I want it like this. I don't want to give you nothing no more because you sound ungrateful as hell. Why do I want to be open to giving you something if you're not open to receiving how I'm supposed to give it to you? I'm the gift giver. Let me give it how I want to give it to you. The universe feels the same way. The universe wants to give you the things that it wants to give you, how it wants to give it to you. And don't you want that? Because I love surprises. I love getting the things that I desire in the most extravagant way. And the universe wants to give it to you in that way as well. So let it. So this brings me to my next topic on here is inspired action. You guys, sometimes people will try to force their bridge. Don't do that. That's not for you to do. Inspired action, actively engage with the outer reality. Take inspired action in the outer world that reflects your inner intentions and desires. This involves actively engaging with opportunities, making choices, and taking steps that align with your manifestation goals. By aligning your actions with your inner vision, you create coherence between your inner and outer reality. So let me interrupt this little spiel for a second. You might say to the universe, okay, I need the next big business idea. I want to start my own business. I don't know what I want to start my business in. Then you might be like, oh, I got this nudge to go to the grocery store to get carrots. I don't know. Then you go to the grocery store and then you bump carts with someone who is looking for X, Y, and Z, and that strikes up a conversation that then in turn inspires you to what you want to do and how you want to start your business, so on and so forth. So that is what inspired action is. It's not going to feel forced. It's not going to feel like I gotta go do that. And sometimes it will, sometimes it'll be an intuitive nudge like that, but you'll be able to tell the difference. The more you kill your ego, the more you'll be able to tell the difference on like if something is ego driven or if it is more so inspired action, right? Like whenever I manifested my cars, I had this inspired action to just go check my mailbox when I got off of a flight. And normally I don't just check my mailbox as soon as I get off of a flight. I would shower and go lay my stuff down and eat and take my time. And I had been home in my home state for over a month, so my mailbox was packed. And I was home for a month because I had a death in the family, whatever. So I was exhausted mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, just drained. And the last thing I wanted to do was check my mailbox. But I went and checked my mailbox and I had 2 checks that the IRS owed me. And I was able to use that money and go put the down payment down on the car that I literally told my aunt that I wanted not even 48 hours before that. So yeah, there's that. Practice mindfulness and awareness. Cultivate mindfulness and self-awareness to recognize any inner conflicts, limiting beliefs, or subconscious patterns that may be incongruent with your manifestation goals. By bringing awareness to these aspects of your inner reality, you can work on releasing them and replacing them with empowering beliefs that support your manifestations. You guys, it's so easy. All you're doing is just flipping thoughts all day long. Everybody's like, well, I don't want to affirm. I don't want to do this. Well, you're thinking thoughts all damn day long anyway. You might as well be thinking about what you want in the way that you want it versus not. So that's it. That's all that means. Trust in the process. This is the tricky part. Trust in the process. Trust in the interconnectedness of your inner and outer reality, knowing that the universe is always reflecting back to you the energetic vibrations you emit. Maintain your faith and your ability to consciously manifest your desires and trust that the universe is working in harmony with your intentions to bring them into fruition. So if you've done coaching with me before, or if you're currently coaching with me, we do this trust exercise that I have you guys do for homework, and that way it builds your trust with the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, source, energy, whatever, because you have to be open to receiving, right? Like you got to trust. Like it baffles my brain that we will trust DoorDash, Instacart, Postmates, all these food apps to bring us our food, or we'll trust a pilot to fly us around the world, to country, state to state, city to city, but we can't trust the same source that made us to bring it is what we want. That's fucking wild. Gratitude, detachment, and trust. Practice gratitude and detachment. You guys, when I learned the law of detachment, like through and through, that is when things just started to like flow to me. And I mean like within a day or two. because when you're attached to nothing, you want for nothing, you're just like, I'm always taken care of. I don't want anything. That is when things just, boop, they just flow to you. So practice gratitude and attachment. Cultivate gratitude for both your current blessings and the manifestations that are on their way to you. Practice attachment by releasing any attachment to specific outcomes or timelines, trusting that the universe will manifest your desires in the most perfect way and timing. Dr. Joe Dispenza also teaches us that you've got to train your brain to already have what it is that you desire. So if you are wanting to manifest a home, right? Like you're purchasing a new home, what would it feel like if you got that home? Literally sit. I have these timers that I put on my phone. I have one at 9 a.m., one at 12 p.m., one at 3 p.m., and then 6 and 9 p.m. And they're just what I call feeling check-ins. And if I'm feeling a little bit wonky when it comes to my manifestation, I will then just go and check myself and go into like a little quick meditation. Some people might be, well, I'm at work. Okay, well, for freaking 30 seconds, just everything is always working out for me. The universe is always conspiring to help me. Whatever, just something quick to go towards your manifestation goal in a positive way instead of focusing on the lack. Practice mindfulness and awareness. Cultivate mindfulness and self-awareness to recognize any inner conflicts. Remember, it's always a gauge. So anytime I'm not getting what it is that I want, Neville tells us that there is something in there that I have a foundational belief somewhere, a limiting belief somewhere, that I'm not able to get what it is that I want. Like you're creating that. Limiting beliefs are subconscious patterns that may be incongruent with your manifestation goals. By bringing awareness to these aspects of your inner reality, you can work on releasing them and replacing them with your empowering beliefs that support your manifestation. So you're just replacing it, right? Like for every negative thought, replace it with 3 good ones. Trust in the process. Trust in the interconnectedness of your inner and outer reality, knowing that the universe is always reflecting back to you the energetic vibrations you emit. Maintain your faith and ability to consciously manifest your desires and trust that the universe is working in harmony with your intention to bring them to fruition. And then I had created a ways that doubt stops you chart. An example would be SP never spends time with me, so you might have a belief that I'm not worthy of quality time, or they never tell me how they feel, belief that I don't deserve honesty and vulnerability. You would now switch that with I am now believing that I deserve and am worthy of quality time and vulnerability. For money beliefs, the example would be I never have any extra money to spend on things I like. Belief that I don't have enough money, must be nice to have things / trips, etc. Belief that everyone else has what I desire. So your affirmation to that would be I am now believing that I have more than enough for all the things that I need and want. It is easy for me to obtain life's luxuries. One of my favorites would be family, because I am the oldest daughter. I'm the oldest granddaughter also. So I had this limiting belief. This is a personal one that I put in this chart. I'm the oldest. Everything is always harder for me. So I had a belief that my siblings were treated better than me, or things were easier for them. My parents and I don't have a close relationship because I didn't have a close relationship with my mom. So I had this belief that like the parent always has underlying issues or trauma. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm getting a call on my laptop. Belief that the parent has underlying issues or trauma, or that we are not worthy of their love and have to work for it. I'm starting to believe that my parents love me and support me fully. I really had to get to the bottom of that limiting belief, you guys, because it was holding me back in more ways than one, because I felt like I wasn't worthy of the relationship that I wanted. I wasn't worthy of the money that I wanted, or career that I wanted, or the clients that I wanted. And I had to kill that, because these limiting beliefs you think only affect you in one way, and they can affect you in a multitude of ways. By consciously applying the principle of as above, so below, as within, so without, in your manifestation practice, you align your inner intentions with your outer actions to create a harmonious flow of energy that supports the manifestation of your desires in your life. So always be on the up and up, and making sure that you are paying attention to how you feel. What you feel and what you think is going to portray in your actions, and your actions is going to shape what you see on the outside in your 3D reality, right? Also too, I still have the full self-concept workbook if anyone would like that for purchase. I'm going to provide the link for you guys. I also am just now opening up text, sorry, my dog is snoring. I'm also going to open up text coaching. I've been asked numerous of times to do email or text coaching. I'm going to do text because I love sending voice notes, and I just like, I don't know, I'm just really personal, and I like to connect to people in that way. And I just don't feel like I can connect to you just by like sending an email. So, whatever, but I am going to be offering that. And then there's also the VIP group that is $7 a month now. With the VIP group, we'll be doing monthly and weekly challenges and live Q&As in that group. I'm really excited about the group. It's launching today, actually. So if you're interested in that, email is in my bio. And I hope, well, it is my intention that this video meant you well and that you now understand a little bit more about Everyone Is You Pushed Out and the mirror effects. So see you guys soon.